Good evening, guys. Welcome to my video where today I'm going to talk about AUTOCAD and especially about the text command. Now, the text command is usually to label anything starting from uh, sides to even circles and cylinders. Now, here we have two circles. This is usually happens whenever you have a 2D version of anything. You will only mostly see anything from the top. But actually, one of them it's a circle, the other one it's a cylinder. Now, of course, you can't really tell as of right now, but let me just change the um, the point of view, and then you can have an idea of what is more or less. As you can see, one of them is a cylinder, one is a circle. Now, whenever you have a professional, I guess you can call it drawing design, you'll usually have a side and describing each and every single dimension and everything. But for sake, like here's an example right now. Here are the top, the bottom side, and the side view for the cylinder. Obviously, the top and the bottom side they will be exactly the same, but you will label each one of them so you can have an idea more or less which one weighs which. Now, of course, this one's misspelled, but I'll explain it right now. Okay. Um, so how exactly do you actually type a text? Let me just one over here. Now, the text usually has functions. There's three different functions, three different ways you can type it. You can write in the annotation, which is right over here. Okay, now this one is a function of multi-line text. Now what you will do is you will choose a box and everything you type will be fitted into this specific box. Uh, Now once you learn how to book, it will actually go lower. Now this is a pretty confusing function button command, especially since it's hard to tell what is actually happening if you have never used it before. Okay, let me give you an example. Here, let me make the box bigger and I'll actually make it to a single line. You can make the box even wider, but nothing will happen. But once you start squishing everything together into a small little box, it will actually separate into different boxes altogether. Now, okay. Now let me talk about how to actually change the once something is already typed in. Like you can double click it and it will actually give you the options to write, and you can see it's blue right now, and then you just type the top side in regular letters. Okay, top side view. Okay, there we go. Now for this one, for example, this one's misspelled, but I'm not gonna retrace it because there might be a problem that you might never notice. So also I'm gonna show you the command for typing it. You can type D edit and I'll actually just choose it again. It will turn blue and type top side view. Okay, now for this one, okay, let me see. uh, Now it's easier. I want to show you right now the annotation because everything that you do while measuring dimensions, everything once you're done with the uh, uh, with the a graph, you will actually have to go to the annotations to write the dimensions and the lines. So let me right now just make that spell function. This one will actually read each and every single word that it's within your choosing, and it will actually fix it. As you can see, the function for a second function right now, it was misspelled, and actually fix it. And to tell the truth, I didn't even notice until right now. Now, let me see this one. I did leave it in purpose, but you can just do. Now, if you spell check, it will not actually choose anything. You'll have to highlight it in order to spell check it. And then yeah, there you can see it says bottom, and it'll give you different kind of words, even some of them that have nothing closely related to it. It's pretty much like Word program, and very similar to it. Okay, this is practically the most basic kind of functions that text has. Now there's some of them that are pretty much confusing. But you can see you can type M text, which is a multiple line text, and it will be exactly like that one. You can write text, and it'll actually just be a single line text, which is pretty much the one for the site. Now, first, whenever you write text, you actually have to use the height, so you don't have to actually use the style. So, for example, here it has the standard style, which is pretty confusing if you never used it, but you can go ahead and make a new one if you like. You just have to put new, then put a name like new, better style, and you put OK. Now, for example, this one, the Arial, I'm gonna use Time New Roman because it's more commonly used, and make it bold so you feel so you can see the difference. Now the height. This height, not really difference, but the width factor. This one, it's really fun to mess with, but really the oblique will actually make anything slanted, but let me go again. Okay. Yep. Okay, there we go. Now okay, the oblique will actually make everything slanted, as you can see right now. Like this is 20 degrees, but anything higher than 90, you won't really tell the difference that much. You can see like 90, it would be a really, really big difference. Now, the upside down and the backwards, those aren't really working for me right now. Could be a problem with the program as of right now. Okay, now once you make a new one, you can actually just change them. As you can see, like this one's the standard, change it to new better style, and then change it. You can choose everything and try to change it, but since it has some switches and something different, it won't change it. The height, neither the height are presets unless you have to actually choose each one separately, or not choose any of the design. Now let me go to the. Oh, wait, let me see if I forget anything. Let me go to the 3D. As of right now, this is a picture of Yoshi that I have. This is a design I made from a plush toy. As you can see, this is how it looks. Let me just make you see in realistic so you can have an idea how it looks. Okay, there we go. Now, in the background you can see, but it has an arc. That arc, as of right now, will be where I will show you some of the two commands which are not that easy to use, but are really nice once you start making something more um, static or more dynamic. Now here you are gonna have in the 3D modeling section, you're gonna have the annotation, which is gonna be exactly the same as when you have 2D models. Now what you can do, if, in case you want to do a 3D writing, you can change your settings for your XYZ coordinates, and as you can see right now, change them. But the problem with this is that it's always going to be in your Y and X coordinates. So for example, this is not the easiest way to write, uh, to use text command, simply because once you actually type it, it will be stuck to the XY coordinate. Of course, there are a few ways to get around it, but once you start changing the XY coordinate, it gets a little bit more confusing. Just for the sake of purposes, I'm gonna use a different method. Okay. Now the arc, there's a function called arc text. Now this one's probably my favorite because you actually just have to choose the text, and it actually give you everything. You don't have to choose the style as in the other one. For like this one, for example, just gonna track the text. Winner Yoshi rocks. There we go. Okay, there. Okay, now the height, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger because it's a 3D model, and this one the scale is a little bit bigger. So let me just put 1.5. Okay. Now you can just end it right here, but there's some other functions like this ones, which are your alignments. For example, your the left, it's alignment to the left, the R it's alignment to the right, the front, the F is to fit it into the size. So I'm just gonna choose that to make it prettier and more organized. Now the other ones are pretty common. As you can see right now, everything that I wrote into the text portion of the options, it's right here. Here you have Yoshi, and I'm gonna actually make it stand up. So here you just choose 3D rotation, just click it right here, and there we go. So you can see right now it's actually standing up. Let me just show you. But it's gonna be in the middle of your arc, so it's gonna be halfway up and halfway down. Now let me just change it. Let me explain you that there's two arcs now. The first arc is Dragon 1. It's the arc that it's created to follow the letter. So you can see looks pretty weird though. Let me just choose the arc, the actual arc, and then once you start changing it, the arc will actually push the letters with itself. Let me just make this one bigger so you can have an idea. See? So you can see the arc this assigns where the letters are going to be. Okay, let me just put it this way, and as you can see now it looks a little bit nicer because it's around the same height that the Joshi. Okay. Um, okay, that's it. Now this one's pretty good because once you have options like roller coasters or entrances to 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 carnivals or anything, this is a pretty good way to show that it's a carnival and entrance or something. You can see this in a lot of designs. Well, if you have any questions, just make sure to leave a comment. I'll try to answer it. Like I said, this disclaimer, I'm not an expert. I'm just a student. There's a lot of things I don't know about AutoCAD, but I think this is good for the text portion of it. Um, mm, well, thank you guys. Hope you enjoy.